Today we're going to be talking about focus. Welcome to the TheOngCast. My name is Junius. I'm a medical student on a gap year.
And I'm Mr. Ong. I've been teaching in a New Zealand high school for the past 17 years.
So in this video, we're going to cover focus broadly. Thanks, Blake, for the idea about talking about focus. And Mr. Ong, going to go over the 4 topics we want to talk about.
Okay, the first topic is about setting a target.
What's the second topic?
Second topic is you need to eliminate distraction. Third target is make it easy, the environment will be easy. And the last target is
Take breaks.
take break. Yeah, Let's take break.
Alright.
Yeah, okay.
So do you want to go over the first topic, which is to set targets?
Okay, so in order to focus, whenever you do something, for example, in a day, you need to set a target of what you're going to do for the day. So for example, as a teacher, when I want to start the day, I need to know what are the to-do list before the start of the day, so that I have a target to reach at the end of the day.
So you set goals for the entire day, and your goal for that day is to bash it out and complete the task that you set for yourself.
Yeah, so I know that I need to do that things for the day so I can focus fully on doing it. If I finish early, I can chill out. If not, then I'll work hard until I finish a job.
I do something very similar. I write everything down on a to-do list, or things I need to do, and as I get them done, I tick them off my to-do list. I usually use a whiteboard for this. It's a very simple productivity task manager thing, and I just get it done.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So another point I want to bring up is that when you set a goal for yourself, or you promise yourself that you get something done, or you promise someone else that you're going to get something done, you try to keep your word. So what I try to do is make a promise and then keep that promise. So whenever I set the goal of accomplishing a certain task for the day, I always think to myself, okay, I'm going to get this done. I told myself I'm going to get this done. I told a client that I'm going to get this done. I told my dad that I'm going to get this done. So I'm going to try my best to pull it off no matter what.
Yep. What happens if you can't meet that goal?
If I can compensate for that the next day, I try to compensate for that. For example, if I couldn't get it done today, I'll just try to get it done tomorrow, and I'll work extremely hard tomorrow to pull it off.
Yeah. Normally, like for me, I set the goal not only for the day, I set the goal for the week. So I have one extra day just in case I cannot meet that goal. That extra day can be used as an emergency.
Yeah, it's very important to have some sort of redundancy in your timetable, because things will pop up, family emergencies, unknowns. So therefore, you need a bit of slack in the rope just in case something does pop up. So then you can use that time that you set for yourself to complete that task that pops up.
That's right. Yep.
All right, so that sounds pretty good for set targets, set goals for the day. Whether you use a whiteboard or you just have it in your head mentally, set promises to yourself and keep those promises and just get the job done. And I also want to say that it's also part of being a professional. When you set promises to yourself, when you set promises to clients, when you set promises to your students,
That's right.
you have to be a professional and get it done regardless of whatever personal situation comes up.
Yeah, you need to meet the target, just because if you delay one step of the way, it may affect the others in the chain below. So for example, if the report needs to be out, if you do not do the report on time, or you do not mark on time, the administrator has problems sending out the reports to the parents.
Yeah. And even as a student, I think we are professional students and we have targets to meet. And I try to treat myself like a professional when I'm a student, even though I'm a student and not a teacher, say.
Yeah, teachers are professionals. Yeah.
All right, that's number 1, set targets. Number 2, do you want to go and talk about eliminating distractions?
Okay, eliminate distraction is quite easy. So for example, if I were marking an exam script, I make sure that I'm totally focused on doing the task, okay? So I will not be distracted by my phone or any notification or go to TikTok or YouTube. So I will always focus on doing the job done before I go to do something else.
So do you do anything in terms of your environment? Do you have a certain place that you do your work, or do you keep your phone somewhere else? How do you actually do it physically?
I will do either, most of my marking is done at home, okay? So I do not want to be distracted by student or my colleague talking to me. So I go to a quiet corner and I'll mark for maybe 45 to 1 hour before I go on to the next stage of what I want to do.
And do you have your phone next to you, or do you put it in a different room?
I have the phone next to me just in case something else turns up, but I will ignore most of the notification and all the stuff. Yep.
All right, cool. So for me, when I need to study and I get distracted by my phone a lot, I usually use the app Forest, and that plants a virtual tree. I set a time period and the tree will grow during that time period. And if I use my phone in that time period, the virtual tree dies. And somehow that works for me.
Okay. Yep.
So for me, I like studying in the library quite a lot of times when I need to get a lot of work done. So I'd often go to the library. I try to change up my environment from time to time as well. For example, I might study in the library in the afternoon and then go back home, study back home. Maybe in the mornings, I like to study somewhere else in the study room, something like that. I feel like overall, you have to experiment with what works in terms of eliminating distraction and optimizing your environment.
That's right.
Do you have any other tips for eliminating distractions?
Not at the moment, but I think the most important thing is get away from your phone, okay? Get away from all the social media stuff, okay? Because they can be quite distracting.
Yeah. Oh, another point I wanted to bring up since you brought that up. It's very easy to get distracted throughout the day by notifications popping up on your phone. Like you're just doing something random and then you check your phone and you have a notification banner on your phone telling you something unnecessary. For example, you have lots of emails telling you buy this product and you know you're never going to buy it. And there's no point having these unnecessary notifications eating up your mental bandwidth. So what I try to do is I go through my emails and then unsubscribe to all the emails from unimportant senders.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, and also remove the banners and the notification from apps that I also find unnecessary as well.
Yep.
All right, so that's how I eliminate distractions.
Yep.
And
That's the same thing. Yep.
cool. Same for you. Remove the notifications from emails.
Yep.
All right, next point number 3 is make it easy. So this is something I wanted to bring up. If I had a gym next to me and I wanted to go gym consistently, it'd be very easy for me to do so. I just go down the road, walk to the gym, bash out a workout, come home, shower, eat, done, right? But if my gym was very far away from me, say I had to walk half an hour to that gym and I don't have a car, I have to walk, there's going to be so much friction for me to go to the gym and work out. Would I want to do that? If I have a really strong drive to do that, maybe. But if I don't, then it's going to be very difficult. So I try to do the same thing with studying. I try to make it as easy as possible, as fun as possible, to make the process easy, right? So I try to first choose a location that is somewhat close to me. I try to make it as fun as possible. So I like to use nice pens. I use a pen tool and a gel pen. It's a nice pen. I try to make the process as fun as possible. Sometimes I use noise cancelling headphones. So overall, my overall point is that if you can make something fun, you're more likely going to do it, and you're likely going to do it for longer as well. So if you can make it fun, make it easy, then I also think that can help you study for longer, work for longer, and have more fun in the process.
Yep.
All right. Point number 4 now is take breaks.
Okay. Normally, when you are focusing of doing an important task, for example, marking an exam paper or stuff like writing reports, okay? So it can be quite tiring. So sometimes after a period of time, maybe 45 minutes or 1 hour, I decided to take a break. So for me, I will just have a sit down at one corner, chill out, or sometimes have my coffee, or sometimes I take a short nap and it rejuvenates me.
How long are your breaks for?
I normally work 45 to 1 hour in a row. Then my break is around 15 minutes. Then I go on to do the task after I recover. Yep.
Okay, that sounds pretty similar to me.
Yeah.
I think initially when I first started studying, I could only do 25 minutes of work before having to take a break. But now, with the pressures of med school and I had to study for longer periods, Then I got to the point where I could focus for around 50 minutes now, and then I usually take a 10-15 minute break.
Yep.
And I do that twice and then take a longer break usually. So very similar. And I don't think it's possible to grind out 8 hours straight of work or 5 hours straight of work. I haven't heard anyone do that. Even the top mid students don't do that. So sprint and rest is what I tell myself in my head. Sprint, get the work done, and then rest. Sprint, rest. Try not to work at like 40% power all the time. Try to work at 80 to 100 and then 0 to 20.
Okay. Yeah, I think one of my colleagues has ever mentioned, if you are studying like 8 to 10 hours a day, means you are studying the wrong way.
8 to 10
Not the
hours a
Ong's
day.
way. Yeah.
I do think 8 hours a day when I really need to
continuously,
study.
I mean,
Continuously, yeah. Continuously is impossible. I don't
Yeah.
think it's possible. I haven't heard anyone do it.
It's quite common in Asia. I mean, the student there can study just sitting down there and study for hours and hours. Yeah.
But it wouldn't be studying. It'd just be like passively rewriting notes or reading the textbook over and over again. And does that actually help you understand, retain, and apply information? Probably not for an exam.
Probably not. Yeah, I think that in Asia, most people learn a bit through rote learning. Okay, they memorize stuff, so that's how they study. Yep.
All right. So essentially, take breaks. Figure out what works for you. Whether it's 25 minutes on, 5 to 10 minute rest, or 50 minutes on, or 45 minutes on, and then 10-15 minute break as well. I guess that's also something you have to experiment with and figure out whether or not those time period works for you.
Yep, that's right.
All right. So, in summary, do you want to go over the points?
Okay, just in summary, first you need to take some breaks. Okay. No, you need to set a target.
Set targets.
Set target first. Okay. So at the start of the day, before you go do anything, set a target what you want to do for the day, or also for the week what you intend to achieve. Okay. And then number 2, you want to elaborate?
Eliminate distractions. You want to optimize your environment so that you aren't constantly distracted by a phone, distracted by the TV. You want to focus and do deep work. So whatever you need to do in order to achieve this, uninstall apps, remove notifications. You also want to unsubscribe to unimportant emails. Make sure your phone doesn't distract you while you're studying or doing work.
Yep. Number 3, make it easy, as what Junius has pointed out earlier. Make sure your environment is conducive to study and make it fun and all those stuff. Yes.
And number 4, make sure you take breaks, sprint and rest. Don't try to study for a ridiculous amount of time if you're unable to. It can be built over time in terms of your ability to focus and study for longer periods, but make sure you still take breaks. You know, you can't sprint, and then and then you end up jogging. Sprint, rest.
Yeah, it's okay to take naps too, I reckon.
Naps are important.
Yeah, so naps rejuvenate you and you become more focused after that.
How long do you nap for?
I can sleep anywhere actually.
Anywhere,
I can just sit down on this chair and I can take a 10-15 minutes nap and I'm all good to go again.
Take naps. All right, so those are the 4 points when it comes to focus. Thank you very much, Blake, for your input and giving us the idea. Don't do it the long way.
Don't do it the wrong way.
Do it the Ong way. You think that was good?
Yeah, I don't know.